Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, I have given you some idea of how we Muslims have a integrated psychology, a very holistic integrated psychology based on the understanding of Islamic metaphysics and understanding of the human psyche, which is very comprehensive. And I have given you in terms of our model, in terms of our post-Islamic psychology model, that the whole book is dedicated towards it, which was developed by the late Professor Muhammad Mahdi Jenkins, who was the protege of B.F. Skinner. He passed on, and then I continued this work. All right, and how we can apply this integrated model in so far as helping our community, the Muslim Ummah in the 21st century, to face all the challenges in life. And I've given you this understanding of STEFAR, S-T-E-F-A-R. So I'm going to give you some understanding of how STEFAR works. Each time you face your client or coachee, you can start with the S first, because this is where the situation that triggers his or her problem. What is the situation? So you can ask questions about the situation. All right. For example, this person is having a problem. So that situation, if you say it is a problem, that situation is a very general thing. What is the specific problem that this person is facing? All right. So for example, we take Mr. X. Mr. X, all right, is facing a lot of problems in terms of his job. All right. So he feels very desperate about his job. He feels that he's not appreciated by his boss. He feels that the salary is very low. He feels that he got no future in the job, and so on. So he has a situation. That situation is that it's a job-related, career-related problem. All right. So he has a career-related problem. So he has this, which I have given to you, the ideas, which 4 or 5 items that you have already analyzed. You can have this little piece of paper. But remember, as a coach, or when you are with your coachee, if you start writing everything that person says, he get very bored and it become very mechanical. So we do not want the relationship between a coach and coachee is a mechanical. So you just memorize STEFAR, and then later on when the coachee or has gone out, you can put in the notation a small file of what you have discussed with him in terms of his situation. All right. So his situation is a career problem, low salary, no future, lousy boss, and so on. His thoughts is what? His thoughts would be very negative. So his thoughts could be 1 or 2 thoughts. He feels that, since he got no hope, he might as well, leave the job. Okay. Or his thought could be, he may, even if he's very depressed, he is very depressive, he feels like he may want to kill himself. He may have suicidal tendencies. So you got to see where the thoughts lead him, because the situation leads him to the thoughts. All right. So S leads to T. All right. Then you analyze the T. All right. And then you can analyze the emotions. What are emotions? What are emotions and feelings? Emotions, for example, love is an emotion. Anger is an emotion. Frustration is an emotion. Okay. The emotion will trigger feelings. So when this person has no hope, his feelings is what? Desperation of what? So his feeling is manifested in the 5 senses, or even for Muslims, not only in your feelings of physical body, but also at your mind, and also as your qalb and akal. It affects the whole spectrum of your psyche. So these feelings is become negative. So your emotion is the first to realize. That means thoughts trigger emotions. Emotions are within the mind. That means these emotions are, as I say, love is an emotion. Joy is an emotion. All right. Frustration, anger. So that emotion is translated into feelings. So when person is angry, what happened? His heart palpitated. His feelings, his heart do. He feels his blood pressure coming up. His blood pressure comes. So that feelings. His face become red. He feels like feel like hitting somebody or killing himself or whatever. So those are feelings triggered by the emotion. So situation trigger thoughts, thoughts trigger emotion, emotion trigger feelings, and then feelings trigger actions. So in the most desperate case, he will just hang himself, I mean he kill himself. Or in the less desperate case, he just self-harm. There are a lot of young people now, they take a blade and then cut themselves, not the full cutting, just a part cutting, and then let some bleed out and then call for help. I mean, they also panic when the flow. So there is self-harm, which is now very prevalent among young people, especially child, teenager, parent situation. Large number of children having this problem now. All right, they are not actually going to the stage of killing themselves, but they're showing to their parent, look, if you go further, I'll kill myself. All right, so that action of self-harm or desperation is manifested. Or for some teenagers, they will take a knife. All right, they'll take a knife, and then they are in their room, they will take the knife and then hit at the, for example, the cabinet. They'll say, take the knife and tung, tung. So the parent can know, oh, this guy has a knife, he got his scout's knife, and he's hitting at the cabinet, knocking at the cabinet. And then he says, you come in, I'll kill myself, and he will shout at the parent and so on. So those are actions. You can see that manifested. So then the result will be, of the action will be then very negative, in the sense that he lost control of himself, or he has harmed himself. Some of them commit suicide, which is really happening in large numbers now, especially among teenagers, where their hormonal imbalance is actually causing a lot of problems during their teenage years, from 14 to about 20, where their frontal cortex is not fully developed. They are reckless, or they are very abrasive or aggressive, very instinctive. The animal self is very strong, but the rational self is not built up yet. So they are in that situation. So when you have a discussion with your coachee, you go through the situation, and remember that situation, whether it is internal lack of control or external. So is he a person which is blaming everybody? That means everything external is affecting him, and how you can bring him to realize his internal situation, then how you can analyze and go through the thoughts by questioning, go through the emotions, go through the feelings, then see what are the actions that he has done over the last 3-4 months or recently, and what are the results which is causing his problem. And then from then, when you STEFAR, then you can have a formulation to help your coachee overcome. Because now you know the full story of why Mr. X or Miss Y is having that problem, through a very systematic approach of understanding the tools and tactics of STEFAR. Remember what is STEFAR? Situation analysis, thoughts analysis, emotion analysis, feeling analysis, action analysis, result analysis, and then you do the countermeasure. Later on, I'll give you more tools in terms of how you can have a countermeasure, where using STEFAR, you then develop a countermeasure of giving them some input of how to realize that their action, their situation, their thoughts, their emotion, their feelings, their actions, and their result all can be changed positively through the development of a good Islamic psychology methodology through tactics and habits. Because the last one of this is of the growth habit after tactics and tools is habits, which I'm going to give it to you, inshallah, as we go along developing this understanding. So remember, very easy tactic, very easy tools, based on what? Based on the understanding of the FETTF cycle. You go back to our previous video where I give you the whole explanation of this, and you can integrate these together with the STEFAR. And those of you who are doing psychology, use this tool, and maybe you can create a booklet. In fact, you can even do a master's or PhD program on understanding this empirically, using all the tools of statistics and methodology and actual practical result, where you can study how you can help a person from a very bad situation overcome their anxiety or their depression or their psychological challenges in life, and achieve the greatest of success in this world and the hereafter, inshallah. Always remembering, we are here to be the slave and the servant of Allah, a spiritual being living in a physical realm for a transient contingent period as Allah has ordained, knowing that we have a wonderful future in the realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are His vicegerent of Khalifa on this earth, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, and making the world good, inshallah.